Thanks everyone for coming and to join us on the panel today. And I'd like to start maybe a quick minute or two. Go ahead and jump in as we work our way down. Tell us a little about your project and what you've been doing in the DeFi space.
Perfect. Well, my name is David. I'm from Guatemala. Yeah, we are the first crypto company in Central America that is giving back the power to the users to manage the money on Guatemala and probably the rest of Central America. There is no opportunities for the users to invest in different products. So we are the first company in Central America and the Caribbean also with crypto card program in MasterCard. So we have we're giving cards, they receive cashback in USDC, they can redeem the cashback in more than 400 different cryptos. We'll also have another platform for interest in crypto, so they can invest and they can receive more cryptos and to make it faster, right? So we also have the best way to sell remittances in Central America, traditional products, and we have crypto products.
Perfect. Thank you.
Ian Caldwell, I'm with Wild Yachts. We are one of the first no-base trading strategies that allows you to build trading strategy off any data point. You have a lot of partnerships, for instance, that allows you to build a data point or a trading strategy based on ZUMS, the CHV Scott Mutual. You can build a strategy in a matter of minutes, whereas past it would take you basically having to have a programming team, a quant team, and also a data scientist, and have to have an execution layer to build it. So we simplified it, allow it to be drag and drop, basically like Figma, and you could back test and build a strategy.
So one-click automation for trading bots is pretty neat.
Yep.
Next.
At Eola, we build in credit. We are cross-border payments on stablecoin rails, where we help African immigrants in the U.S. build their credit locally via cross-border payments to 25 countries in Africa. We've processed over $1 billion in over the past 24 months on stablecoin rails, growing extremely about 11x fast. We just launched the first credit card on the African continent, which is stablecoin backed, over 41 countries, and the product is scaling extremely fast. We currently have over 600,000 customers using our product and also scaling intra-Africa as well. One of the biggest theses is we know that there's a lot of hype with stablecoin at the moment, but we use it as our underlying infrastructure to move money across the globe.
Fantastic. And over $1 billion, that's incredible. So, next there.
Thank you. Hi, good afternoon. Toby Gilbert. I am the CEO and co-founder of CoinWeb, which is a layer 2 interoperability platform. And we have built a cross-chain DEX that handles native BTC, amongst a whole load of other assets, on top of CoinWeb, and that is PackSwap, and I'm also a co-founder of that. There are only 3 other cross-chain DEXs that handle native BTC in the market, which I'm sure you're all aware of. Chainflip, Maya Protocol, and TorChain, and their associated DEXs. And we are up to 95% cheaper than all of them. We're going live this week, and we are poised to take the markets.
Very exciting.
Oh, thank you.
That's incredible. That's incredible. That's quite a market, too. To jump into a little bit more after the introductions, maybe you guys can share a little bit on who your target customer is, what are the big benefits that they take away from working with your product, and how that affects the world. Please jump in and share on that.
Well, in Guatemala, since all these people, they don't have these opportunities to have these kind of investments, since 2019, we launched Invesgo as a future of banking. So we are mixing traditional products with crypto products. So we have a lot of users that are beginning the understanding about crypto, so they are investing in crypto. And also, we partner with different banks. So for banks in Latin America, it's very difficult to launch crypto products. So using us is super easy for them to create this kind of
like products that they can launch for other users in LATAM. So that's what we are doing.
That's quite an impact. Wow.
So I touched on earlier how complex and how difficult in the past it has been to build a strategy. So what we do is we simplify that. Our goal is to basically target right now a prosumer, but the reality is we want to target individuals that may know financial markets or just may have an inkling of a strategy. We also want to reward users. So say in the Philippines or India, they may have a skill set to analyze financials, know about crypto, research cryptos, but they might have a minimal amount of capital to be able to deploy. So one of the things we're building is Quest, which is already built out, just not live on the platform. But it allows you to essentially launch a Quest with a strategy that you can monetize. So say they could only normally deploy $10, and they could have other investors see the history of that trade or that strategy and deploy more capital, and the creator of that gets a rip of it. So it allows people to actually change their life, and in our opinion, it'll change finance as we know it in the crypto space.
That's incredible. That'll have a big impact too, bringing the barrier to entry for someone to code to open up your product and be able to deploy.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Starting with the biggest use case today, which is cross-border payments to Africa. So prior to our products, Africans in the US, UK, Canada, Europe spent about 20 to 30% on the fees to send money back to Africa. And right now we've helped them to significantly reduce it over 80, 90% on the cost by using stablecoin rails, and it's also in real time. Second use case would be prior to doing what we're doing today, there is an urgent need of liquidity in the local markets. So using stablecoin rails at the moment, we've completely eliminated the local last month liquidity needs, which is what Western Union had done over decades of years and MoneyGram, right? They had cash in bank in these various African countries, and they charge you a huge percentage for it, this last mile payments if you're in the US or the UK. And with our products, we've completely eliminated that. And that's why we've seen a lot of impact. But one of the things I want to highlight here would be the credit building aspect, because I'm an African immigrant myself, moved to the US about a couple of years ago, and it was extremely hard to build my credit in this country, right? I had so many use cases where I applied for credit cards and I got declined over 17 times. And for every single time I applied, my odds of getting the credit was lower, and I didn't even know that, right? So there are a lot of African immigrants that are doing this same use case as us, and we help them to build their credit just by payments to Africa, right? So now they get embedded into the local system, and then they can live the American dream. They can buy a house, buy a car, and not live in strong debts because of the interest rates. One of the things we've also seen is Africa, the African continent, which has over 1.4 billion people, has the fastest and youngest African population in the world. So 40% of 1.4 billion people are under 15 years old, right? So they need access to internet and also access to receiving payments. So with the ability to receive stablecoin payments, they can now go to school. They can live a local dream in their various African continent that they're currently living in. So the use cases is so much for us, and we're just kind of tackling them one after the other, starting with cross-border payments, and we're going to get to credit on-chain, and we keep building on those use cases.
Follow-up question on that. Could you share a little bit how someone maybe in the room today that dabbles with DeFi or has money on chain could interact with your app and see the effects of what they're doing?
Absolutely. So we currently launched first the ability to tap and spend with Visa. We, as I mentioned, we're the only Visa principal member on the African continent. You can tap your Visa card in 41 African countries, right? This never happened because Visa, you had to work with each bank in each local countries. So right now, if you want to download the app, you can just fund via USDC on Stellar or Polygon, wherever it is, and you can literally go to Africa, and you wouldn't have the fear of your Bank of American card declining in Nigeria, Kenya, with those cards you can actually spend. And we have on-chain borrowing too as well, which we're going to launch in Q3. So we're looking at about 5 to about 11% on the interest rates, which is extremely exciting because our volume is extremely large, and we can put this money back on the people that uses the product the most, our users, right? So it's very user-centric what we're building here. So yeah, definitely we have various use cases for crypto savvy users today.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. And then, pass that.
Okay, I'm going to talk about pain points. I think we can all agree that the majority of people, if not everybody in this room, are living in the decentralized space. And our decentralized world is controlled in terms of liquidity by gatekeepers. And those gatekeepers are centralized exchanges. You know all the names. Binance, Kraken, KuCoin, Upbit, all these guys. It's unbelievable that we are still enabling them to control all of the liquidity that comes in and out of crypto. And there's a simple reason why this is being allowed to happen. Because it's cheaper. Because trading assets between different L1 blockchains is very expensive because it's incompatible. The way it works with DEXs is they rely upon validator sets. So for the lay people in this room, validator sets are like escrow agents. And they're all stacked up saying, yes, the asset's on chain A, yes, the asset's on chain B, yes, it's moving. And then they put up collateral behind the swaps. And a lot of the time, that collateral is locked up for minimum terms. The validator sets and the collateral being locked up has a cost attached to it. And then that cost is being passed down to the parties that are doing the swaps. So just to give you an idea, on average, if you want to move native BTC into Ethereum, it will cost you anywhere between 1% and 7% on a DEX. If you're on Binance, as a dumb retail customer, excuse the phrase, that's sub 1%. And if you're doing $30 billion a month and you're on Binance VIP 9, then you're at, sub 10 basis points. As a result, SEXs win, DEXs lose, and we hand the power over to centralized gatekeepers controlling how money flows in and out of our business. We think that's wrong, and we spent 18 months building a system which relies upon a cross-chain reactive smart contract framework. Think about it like a monitoring system. 24/7, it is monitoring the events of the underlying L1 chains, and then it reacts to those events at the L2. Secondly, you can now post collateral on a per trade basis and not lock it up for minimum terms. Our result is up to 95% cheaper than the DEXs in the market, and we are in a comparable price to the SEXs. So all of a sudden, we are giving control and power back to you. You don't have to worry if the assets are being squirreled away on private jets or taking wild bets like Sam Bankman-Fried. Everything is on-chain and transparent at the same cost as a SEX. So, cross-chain DEXs, a few stats. On average, $200 million a day. Oh, I'll be having that, thank you very much. Number two, $6 billion a day from single-chain DEXs such as Uniswap. We're up to 45% cheaper than single-chain DEXs. Oh, thank you. I'm coming after you too. But the big power play is Binance alone does $100 billion a day of trade, and all of a sudden, we're not asking you for your KYC or information on counterparties or stuck funds. So the real win is to go after the SEX trade and hand the power back. And that's what our mission is. And we've just gone into live production today, and the press release comes out tomorrow. So thank you for listening to me rabbit on.
That's incredible. Thanks so much for talking about that. And just one more illustration to his point of counterparties and people controlling your money, doing something that is not in the benefit of the users of the platform. Thorchain or Rune, which is another decentralized platform, recently had a mishap with a bunch of their funds. They exposed themselves to risk on the app layer, which ultimately hurt their ecosystem irreparably. And if you have a system that he's talking about where you have verifiable assets that are available at all points, you escape that and you don't let the risks of other apps on your chain affect you. So that's incredible. We've got about 1 minute left. Let's just spend 30 seconds. If there's one way that you can describe how a user today in this room can interact with your app that they can take away and get on the computer tonight to learn more about you and interact with it, let's hear it. And we'll start at the end there, come this way, and just about 30 seconds.
We're live, so yeah, we're literally live. You can connect your wallet, you can do the swaps, you can actually check the pricing. This isn't theoretical, it's on the go. So come and find us, and we'll give you the URL, because no one is going to write that down now. But yeah, no, we're there. This isn't something that we're going to deliver. We've delivered it.
So we've been live for 24 months. If you're looking to send money to Africa, we are looking to expand into Asia and also Latin America in Q3. We just got an EMI license and also a VICE license in Argentina and also Hong Kong. So we're seeing a rapid scaling in other emerging markets. So if you download the app, you can pretty much send money in real time for a fraction of the cost. I'm talking about cents. And also we have the card product, so if you need to spend and also earn cash backs on your product and build your credit via crypto payments, you can download the app today, www.credit.io/cards, and you can get it access. Thank you.
All right, so with MonoQuant, we've been 8 years in the development, mostly an internal product. We just went live a few months ago for select beta users. We're live today for paper trading. You can go in, build a strategy, sign up, test it out, build any strategy, and see your skill set and go from there. We're also on DNA Deal Desk to explain a little more about the product, but go and build a strategy today.
Perfect. And with us, well, I have two use cases for everybody here. If you want to, I don't know if you know, but Guatemala is one of probably the only country in Central America and Latin America that you don't pay capital gains. So a lot of users, what they do is that they are transferring crypto directly to the platform. They move the crypto, the stablecoin, to the car, and they can spend it everywhere. So you don't have to go to the banks and you don't have to pay taxes, and it's legal, right? And the other way is, of course, if you want to send money to Latin America, the easiest way is to send in crypto directly to the app. We have, for example, the biggest partnership with the biggest bank in Central America. You can go directly to the ATM and you can receive your cash directly in the ATM, or you can move the money that you're transferring into your bank account. So that's two use cases that we have.
Goes along with the popular slogan, it's my money and I want it now.
Of course.
Hey,
Super fast.
So, well, thanks guys. Thanks for joining us today. And as you guys know, they gave you a hands-on approach to how to interact with their projects today. So thanks everyone.